Hi, welcome to my series of New York City neighborhoods. I have decided to change up a little bit how I approach this, and I am going to begin in southern Manhattan, also known as Lower Manhattan, and work my way up, rather than talking about neighborhoods I know the best, neighborhoods I grew up in. So today we're going to start with the financial district. And one of the things that sets the financial district apart is that it was really the original New Amsterdam, located south of City Hall Park to Battery Park, all the way. And it has some historic churches, Trinity Church from I would say the 1700s, with its graveyard of burials from the 1700s. It has the Battery itself, which was the defense system used during the Revolutionary War. But mainly what defines the financial center more than anything are the narrow little streets and the fact that they do not follow the normal north-south, east-west grid pattern of most New York City streets. And following in its history of New York being a trading post initially, the financial district has always, for a very long time, was the main center of finance, both in New York City and for the country. This is where Wall Street is located. It's where the World Financial Center was located. In the early 20th century, the insurance industry was all located in the financial district too. But in I think it was probably the 1980s, the 1990s, a lot of the financial firms began to move north. And at that point, a lot of real estate was beginning to be repurposed for residential housing. Some of it was condominium. There may have been a few co-ops, and some was rental. And then 9/11 happened. Everything stopped initially. I take that amongst one of the worst days of my life. And in the financial district, breathing the air was challenging. The dust was as far north as where I lived on 29th Street. It was horrific. And many, many people who had the means to, and I want to emphasize that, who had the means to, fled, got out of the financial district. So shortly thereafter, New York, in very New York form, began to rebuild. And many of the businesses, which also fled and moved north after the 9/11 attacks, that real estate was available for repurposing. And it became a developer's paradise. You know, today there are many, many places to live in the financial district, both from repurposed real estate and from new development. Some is condominium, some is rental housing. Much of it is for people, it's generally a younger demographic of people who work on Wall Street or work in the financial industry, but not all of it. The one thing that was always challenging in this area were basic residential amenities, things like grocery stores. The streets essentially rolled up after 6. It was dead. I understand, although it's not a destination for me normally, that has really changed. And I'd love to hear from anybody who's been a pioneer and lives down there. It's it's a vibrant area now. There's a lot going on. There are little restaurants. There are little bars that actually stay open, apparently. And now our whole economy is everything is delivered. So some of the problems of the neighborhood no longer exist because you just have it delivered. The other thing that changed with the digitization of everything is that there's no longer the need for the masses of paper there used to be, which means that many companies don't need the square feet they used to need because they don't have to store all this paper. So this has provided further opportunity for repurposing of real estate. So the financial district has come back. I think it isn't permanently under construction anymore, which it certainly was during the 2000s, probably 10 years ago. And it's become a real place to live. People don't laugh at you anymore.